Hey everyone, Steve here with Inspired Minds Real Estate Investing. Today I want to talk about the benefits of real estate investment, where you make your income, and why it's so beneficial for financial freedom. Okay, so when you think of normal investment strategies, when you take, let's say we'll talk about $100,000 of equity. You don't need 100,000 to start, but it's a good number for mental math. Okay, you take $100,000 of equity and you put it in a traditional market. At the end of the year, any returns you get is based on that 100,000 that you invested, right? So if you got a 10% return, you'd add 10% on the 100,000 that you invested. The benefit of real estate and the difference in real estate is you're leveraging that money. So you're not just investing or collecting on the returns of 100,000, because if you use the 100,000 as a 20% down payment in a home, well, now you're leveraging, let's say it's a $500,000 home, you're leveraging $400,000 of the bank's money, right? So your $500,000 asset, which your name is now on, let's say that increased 10% that year. Unrealistic a little bit, but let's say it increased 10% that year. Well, 10% of 500,000 is a little different than 10% of 100,000, right? So that's where you can leverage the returns, right? Now, normal market year might only return 3%, but again, 3% increase in appreciation on 500,000 is 15,000, right? So that beats your 10% return in the stock market by quite a bit. And so that's a pretty good return. It's unrealized gains, but that's just the beginning of where real estate starts, right? Because if you have a renter now paying off that property for you, you're also paying into principal on the mortgage payment, which was your debt, right? And so that equity that's being built in the property is also adding to that unrealized gain in the long term. So when you do sell this property, you will gain the appreciation and the mortgage paydown or principal gain. And then the last component is, if the property is well set and you did your research and you understand the market well enough, you'll set yourself up with properties that return you cash flow on top of the mortgage paydown, right? You'll have your mortgage paydown, your bills will be paid off, and there's more cash coming in because of that rental fee. And so you might be in a situation where maybe you're making $500 a month in income off that property, or $6,000 a year, right? So you add that 6,000 on top of maybe a principal payment of 5,000 on top of your appreciation at 3% on the 500,000. So you're looking at $26,000 in unrealized gains on that $100,000 investment. And you think about multiplying that year after year. And again, as principal is paid down in a mortgage, so every year more and more principal is paid down, and the appreciation in the market goes up. So you think about the long term of that, it's just going to compound so quickly, right? And as soon as you get to a point where you're able to now take some of that equity out of that property, even if you don't sell it outright, you can borrow against it and now put that into another property and start another cycle of that, right? So it just compounds so quickly. And that's the power of leveraging the bank's money to invest in assets that appreciate and can return on your investment over time, right? So very quickly, you'll find that if you get into this, you can start leveraging in the millions of dollars worth of real estate without having to put millions of dollars in to create those investment returns. And that's the coolest thing about real estate. That's why I got into it. That's why it's been integral to the last few years of my life, to creating a strategy, creating a system that can give me those kinds of returns. So that's why real estate. If you're interested in talking about it, reach out. I'd love to chat. Otherwise, subscribe and like, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening.